do not know how I have not done this list so far. It is so incredibly important. It's about food. If you have been watching the videos for a while, you'll know I really like to eat food.
Fattening.
If you are new to the channel, I really like to eat food.
Chocolate.
Today I'm talking about food products that it's unbelievable America does not have. Time for a disclaimer. Okay, America has everything. You can order everything on the internet and there are loads of specialist food stores. So I'm sure that if you go to a particular store in Kentucky, you might be able to get something on this list.
And still, those people will comment, I live in Alabama and I have law.
These are just products that are very popular in Ireland that are not readily available in America. It's not commonplace that you guys eat them. Continuing to threaten you in a weird way if you don't subscribe. If you're still watching these videos and haven't subscribed, don't forget, it's free. But if you still haven't, I'm gonna climb into your house, find your fruit bowl, and gently open each of your bananas so that they go off. I'm gonna do it on a regular basis, and you're never gonna get a fresh banana again, and all because you didn't subscribe. Coming in at number 10, this could very well be number 1 because I feel so passionately about it, but I really just have to get to it because it bothers me a lot. In America, when you order a pizza, something that doesn't come with it is garlic and herb dip. Generally, I'll ask them for dip and they'll bring me ranch. No, that is not what I want. I can't explain to you how passionately Irish people feel about garlic and herb dip. We like it so much that our Domino's pizza, which is completely different in Ireland, way nicer than in America, they've taken the pots that exist and blown them up to mahoosive. Garlic and herb dip is the dip you never knew pizza needed. Without garlic and herb dip, pizza is just bread with tomato on it and cheese. Don't get me wrong, pizza in America is a huge deal, and that's why it's so surprising you don't have garlic and herb dip. What? Because it's not readily available there, it won't be easy for you to try, but let me just say, if you do visit Ireland, get yourself a load of garlic and herb dip and import it and spread it to all the other people in America and Canada, because yum. Trust me, you won't want to kiss anybody afterwards, but you won't care because you'll be so nom nom nommy full up. The next thing is an obvious one, it's Kinder Eggs. Now in America, they've brought in a special kind of Kinder Eggs and they're called Kinder Joys. We have them here too. And honestly, I gotta say the Kinder Joys are pretty great. You do the scoopy thing and then you have your treat in a separate part of it. But they're not Kinder Surprise. It's not the same thing. And honestly, I really don't understand what the problem is. A Kinder Surprise's chocolate is really thin and it breaks off easily. It's almost like it's not even hard. It's just soft and it just breaks and it's delicious. Kinder Chocolate is from Germany and it is the most delicious chocolate in the whole world. And yes, the Joy is nice, but it is not the Kinder Surprise. Coming in at number 8, it's Prawn Cocktail flavour crisps. Chip crisps. America has an abundance of chip flavours. See how I'm getting on board with what you say. They have cheese and onion, barbecue, they have old ranch, they have salt and vinegar, they have original flavour, but what they don't have, generally, is prawn cocktail flavour. Now, I understand, if somebody said to me, prawn cocktail flavour crisps, I'd be like, ew, that sounds gross. But no, they're actually delicious. How do you describe prawn cocktail flavour? Because I don't like fish, but I like prawn cocktail flavour crisps. They're sort of like a sweet and sour flavour, if you get what I mean. Like they're a bit sweet and then sour, like I said. And sometimes you just go into your local store and you're like, you know what I need? I need a hit of prawn cocktail flavour crisps. And if you're in America, that's not so easy to get. The next thing you guys don't have, well, you have a version of it, but it's not the right version. Mother! Is Heinz baked beans. In America, they have a Heinz baked beans, but it's not the same Heinz baked beans. The syrup is way thicker and it's more about the syrup than the bean. In Ireland and the UK, we're pretty passionate about beans. We'll eat them with breakfast, we'll have them for dinner, and sometimes they're even their own meal in itself. And that is called beans on toast. Beans on toast is a popular meal for students because it's so cheap. Our beans have sort of an artificially taste to them. They're sugary, but not as sugary as the American type. And they kind of taste almost healthy, like vaguely healthy, in like a, we're probably not healthy, but sort of healthy way. Heinz baked beans go really well with eggs and chips, and you can even have Heinz baked beans with cheese and always on toast. They just go great with bread. I'm saying Heinz baked beans so much you'd think this was sponsored by Heinz baked beans, but I assure you it's not. The next thing is eggs that don't need to go in the fridge. Now in my life we have always put eggs in the fridge, and that's just a comfort thing I suppose, but actually eggs in Europe don't need to go in the fridge. You can just leave them sitting there. We even have nice little display cases for them. It becomes a very hipster thing in your house to have your eggs out. But in America, you have to refrigerate your eggs or they're gonna go gross. I am not an agricultural egging expert, but as I understand it, it's to do with differences in the production of the eggs. And here I always thought chickens just laid them. Basically, European chickens are vaccinated while American chickens are not vaccinated, and that's why they could potentially give you salmonella poisoning if you don't put them in the fridge in America. I'm not saying one's better than the other, it's just an interesting thing that we don't have to refrigerate our eggs. And we use them to look nice in our houses. The next thing you guys don't have in America is red lemonade. Well, you do have it, it's just not popular. In Ireland, red lemonade is a cultural phenomenon. Mostly you get red lemonade when you go to your nana's house. There was a really big urban legend that went around about red lemonade being banned all around the world, everywhere except Ireland, because it killed people. It was full of like poison colouring, except to the Irish, who were somehow immune. That is actually not a true thing, it's just something somebody made up and it's spread around. Red lemonade just didn't become a big hit anywhere else in the world. Red lemonade does still taste lemony, but sort of a different kind of lemony. It's very hard to describe. I urge you to check out red lemonade if you get a chance. TK red lemonade is probably the most popular one. There's something nostalgic about drinking red lemonade out of a plastic cup and eating a meringue, because it reminds you of your nana. The next food product that you guys don't really have readily available is back bacon. We just call them rashers. In America, you guys have streaky bacon, which, don't get me wrong, is absolutely delicious, and sure, I can see why it has its place. But sometimes you really need back bacon. It's way juicier and fills you up a lot more than streaky bacon. A popular way to eat back bacon is straight out of the fryer, but I personally like to grill it and let it get really crispy and eat it that way. Although I will admit to being really torn, because I think pigs are very intelligent animals, but I also really like rasher sandwiches. And that's a moral thing that I struggle with sometimes. I am not emotionally strong enough to be a vegetarian, because rashers taste so good. Next up, I try not to repeat myself on lists much, but I really couldn't make this list without including a spice bag. The elusive spice bag is definitely an Irish phenomenon, and I need to be clear here, it doesn't always come in the shape of a bag, it could be a box too. Generally the spice bag comes from a fast food place, usually a Chinese restaurant. They take things like onions and chips and shredded chicken and battered chicken and maybe some other stuff too, and they just basically throw a load of spice in and then shake up the bag, and then they give it to you. And it's so simple and disgusting, and you just need a spice bag sometimes, especially when you're drunk or hungover. I don't know why, it's dirty food, you know what I mean? It's really dirty, like dirty food. Like you wouldn't have it if you're on a diet, but it's usually what I eat when I wreck my diet, and I just get a spice bag. Bad for you, real bad for you, but yummy. The next thing that's not super readily available in America is bird's eye potato waffles. And yes, I'm going straight into a brand again. As I understand it, there was a huge campaign in Australia to bring over the bird's eye potato waffle. When you say waffles in America, they think of the syrupy stuff that people have for breakfast, and you put it in the thing and you make a big old mess if you're me. It's fun though, making waffles in the morning is fun, and you burn yourself sometimes, don't ask. But potato waffles are a different thing altogether. You can have them for breakfast or for lunch or for dinner. It's just another way the Irish like to do potatoes. And there are other brands that do potato waffles, but let me assure you, they are not bird's eye potato waffles. Somehow the potato spreads in the other waffles and it's just not the same. They kind of look like this. Again, you can put your beans on your waffles, you can put ketchup on your waffles, you can put your bacon in your waffles. Waffles are a very versatile thing that we have, and you guys should definitely check them out in America and Canada. And the number one thing actually blew my mind, and I only found it out this week. It's Easter eggs. In America, you do have Easter eggs. You have chocolate eggs. But as I understand it, it's not a thing. So apparently in America, kids go on Easter egg hunts and it's a whole lovely thing, and the eggs are like yay big. And you're just as likely to get a chocolate bunny as you would be a little egg. In America, you're mad for painting and decorating eggs, as I understand it now, not the orange ones. But what you don't have as readily available and as much of a cultural integral part of our day is the massive branded Easter eggs that we have here. In Ireland, if you're part of a big family, you'll expect everyone in your family to give each other a big chocolate Easter egg that's their favourite bar of chocolate. When I was a kid, I'd usually get about 10 massive Easter eggs, and you'd count up all the different brands you got. It could become very competitive. At Easter, your auntie and your uncle and your cousins will give each other eggs. The only way I can describe it is it's a real thing. Companies are mad to get their chocolate Easter eggs on the shelves, and the bigger it, the better. Supermarkets have their own brands of Easter eggs, And if you try and get an Easter egg on Easter Day, you can be actually fighting people in the aisles to get your hands on an Easter egg. Like the real chunky chocolate, major significant things. And I know in America you do have eggs, but it's just not the deal that it is here. If you have an opportunity to order some big chocolate Easter eggs online, trust me, do it. My favourite one is probably something like a Mars Easter egg or something like that. And back in the day, they used to come with the chocolate inside, but now the chocolate comes separate to them. But like, it's still a lot. Each egg probably has about 1,000 calories, including the bar. And honestly, it makes me sad. I'm sure we'll export this cultural tradition to you guys because, you know, capitalism. But it's a good kind of capitalism. They're really numb. And those are 10 Irish food products that I really think America could do with having in its American lives. Today's patron shout out goes to Jason Moir, whose birthday it was yesterday. Happy birthday, Jason. Apparently he went swimming with his son DJ, and I hope he had a really great day. That's it from me. I'll be back next week. Feel free to engage with one another in the comments in a respectful way, and feel free to suggest some video ideas from me too. Bye. Focus and concentrate. Nom nom nommy. Nom nommy. Nom nom nommy. Continuing to jump on the emotional threat brigade. Continuing in my promise to threaten you if you don't subscribe. Continuing to threaten you with your cultural phenomenon.